One of the coolest things that a lot of juicers can do is make sorbet, and it's really easy to do. Hi, it's Dan with EUJUICERS.COM, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can make watermelon sorbet in a juicer. Now this was something I didn't even think was possible, or at least would be very tasty. I thought if you run frozen watermelon through a juicer, you'd get kind of frozen pulpy ice that wouldn't taste so good. But a couple of weeks ago, I was preparing a video for watermelon. It's our most recent video about how to choose the sweetest watermelon, juicing tips, a recipe. And while I was preparing, my producer suggested, hey, let's show how to make watermelon sorbet as well. And again, I thought that's just not going to work out. You don't want to mix it with banana. That's a weird combination. And you don't want to just do it on its own. But I went ahead and cut up a watermelon, put it in the freezer. And a few days later, we had some guests at our house on a hot afternoon, and my wife said, hey, do we have anything like ice cream or something? And I thought, hey, I'm going to use them as guinea pigs, test it out on them. And I made it, and it turned out actually really good. So let me show you how it's done. It's super simple. What do you need? You need two things. First of all, you need a juicer, which has a blank screen or a sorbet screen, also called a homogenizing screen. Now, most screens look like this. You know, this is a normal juicing screen with the metal parts where the pulp is pushed against and the juice comes through it. But you need something that has something that looks a bit like this if you've got a horizontal juicer, or something that looks a bit like this if you have a vertical juicer. This is called a blank screen, and all it does is just basically turns the juicer into a food processor. It crushes everything, everything comes out the pulp outlet. Most horizontal juicers like this come with a blank screen, sometimes called a homogenizing screen. Verticals, it's pretty rare. A few models do. This is a Sauna 828. It includes a sorbet screen. The bigger Kuvings models and the Omega MMV, these are optional accessories on those. But if you've got something that looks like this, if you've got a blank screen, you're in luck. The only other thing you need is a watermelon, and that's it. And in my most recent video with juicing, I said you should use seeded watermelon, definitely, because seeded watermelon tends to be sweeter, it's cheaper, and also the seeds get filtered out from the juice. But with sorbet, I recommend you use seedless watermelon, because remember, everything's going to get crushed together and you'll have a sorbet with crushed seeds. It's not so bad, you can do it, but it just looks better and it's more smoother. And again, look for a sweet watermelon. I'll link my video that I just did recently, but the one key thing is look for a big yellow field spot. That shows the sweetest watermelon. That means it was allowed to ripen in the field. If this is white, that means it's not going to be so sweet or ripe. So what I'm going to do, I've got watermelon cut up in the freezer. I'm going to bring it out, show you how to prepare it, and get processing. So what I have here is a seedless watermelon that I cut up. One thing to keep in mind, when you're juicing watermelon, you can get some rind in there, no problem, but with sorbet, the rind is a lot denser and it's going to make it more difficult on the juicer. So I suggest don't let any big pieces of rind get into the frozen pieces. What I do, I just slice it up into pieces that will fit into the feeding tube of the juicer I'm using. Then I lay them out on a sheet of aluminum foil, wrap it up, put it in the freezer maybe overnight. And then you want to let it thaw at least a few minutes. This has been sitting here maybe 5 minutes. We'll see how it goes in here. With some other things like berries, you need to let them thaw till they're softer, but watermelon has more air in it. It's lighter, so it shouldn't be so difficult on the juicer. So just give it a shot. I've got the blank screen in here. This Sauna 707 comes with a set of nozzles, so I just put the big round nozzle here to just help it squeeze out a little better, less back pressure on it. You can actually not even put a nozzle there if you want. Let's see how it goes. Now you'll notice I put this glass under. That's because when you're making things like sorbet, always a little bit of things will drip as it melts. But as you can see, this was, I don't know, this was maybe a third of a decent sized watermelon, and it produced quite a bit here. Now what you can do, like I said, you can leave the nozzle off if you want just a wider amount coming out. This makes it in these little tubes, but you can also stir it up. It's got a really good consistency. I'm gonna try it here. It's really light. It's like, if you've been in the US, it's like a slush or a Slurpee. Really finely crushed. No ice bits at all, really. It's super smooth. And that's just straight up watermelon. It's really, really good. Some things you could add if you wanted. You could put a little mint in there. People will put lime juice, mix it in, add that little tartness to it. You could even add some really super chilled coconut milk or almost frozen, and that'll give it a smoother consistency. You can even refreeze this, but I suggest you serve it right away. Just pull it out of the freezer when you have people come over, process it, put this in, just scoop it into bowls or into glasses. Like I said, it's really delicious. So I hope you liked this video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I always look and I answer any questions that are there. So thanks for watching. I'm Dan with EUJUICERS.COM, and I'll see you next time.